Hello Flosstube, this is Belinda, Aussie Stitcher, coming to you on this Thursday the 6th of June. I hope everyone had a good May. I hope you had a great Stitch Mania or however you did it. It's been really great seeing all the different updates and different ways people have interpreted. I had a great time doing my mainly Mirabela May. And it felt good touching a lot of different whips. I touched more than what I was going to, and that felt really good. Before we get into my pile of whips, some general updates. I'm not sure how the lighting is going to go. We're forecast for rain and wind, lots of wind. So we'll see how we go, but yay for rain. So we're back busy seeding for our boss, and then we're gonna try and maybe put another paddock in. We've already got 2 paddocks in on our own farm, and we may or may not put another one depending on time frame. Kids are going really well at school. Sophie competed in Perth in the school band and they got 2nd place. And they did really, really well. And I got sick. Kids got sick. That's it. I feel like I'm rushing. I'll try and slow down a bit. Yeah, but we've all been pretty good. Much of muchness. On a side note, I had been putting down the floss tubers that I've been watching. I'm not going to do that today, and I probably won't go back and do it unless I get enough comments so saying, yeah, we like it. I keep forgetting to write down people's names, so therefore they don't get mentioned at the bottom in the description box. And then I feel really bad, and I go back and edit when I remember, but by then it's usually a week or 2, and I'm also finding if I watch someone's video and I watch half of it, and for whatever reason I get caught away and I stop it, I don't write that person down either. And sometimes I even not go back and finish that person off unintentionally. I think I need to do the watch later list, and that would help me keep a better eye on who I've watched fully and who I've watched partly. My grumpy owl cat. No, it's not grumpy, it's sleepy. Sleepy, grumpy. All the kids are at school, so it's just me today, no William. Thank you for the comment saying that you miss William. He's really enjoying himself at kindy. Really loving not loving the arts and crafts so much. He's loving the building and the outside climbing stuff that they have. All right. Let's get into it. So when I was filming last time, I was working on The Time Traveller by Joan Elliott. And my needle minder is a Doctor Who quote, "We are all stories in the end, just make it a good one." And I got that from No Name Needle Minders. I love her. When this was released, this was about the time there was that whole gossipy about whether the next Doctor Who was going to be a female. And when this was released, I think it was just after Jodie was announced that she was going to be the new Doctor Who. So we knew, if you're on the Joan Elliott group, you saw a preview of this. Because this was released at a retreat in the UK. I'm pretty sure this is the one. So we got to see a bit of a preview, and I was like, that's Doctor Who. And Katie, the Stash Queen, who's also an admin on Stitch Mania, she is stitching this like this, but she's also doing a Doctor Who conversion, and it's looking pretty darn good. If you're on Stitch Mania, check her out, or Instagram. She's under Stash Queen on Instagram. I'm stitching this on 32 count Monaco from Colour Cascades, and I think this is 40 pieces. This is my before Or pick, if I have one. And this is where I am to. Oh, that's actually not bad. That's a good reputation. This is what the fabric looks like. We'll go with that. So I did some back stitching, filled in more down here. I did a bit over here, started the umbrella. Yeah, pretty darn happy with that. I just love working on her. I love the reds and this, and the folding, the way this is stitched, it looks like there's folds there. Oh, I just love Joy and Elliot, and I love the way her charts just, they come to life. They're so beautiful. If you've never stitched with Joan Elliott, she does do, and you're not a fancy lady person, check out her bears, her, she does lots of different other stuff. This got pulled out for Magical Stitches because it rules my life like it does so many other people. Or as I affectionately say, Vickie made me stitch it. A stitch on it. Okay, when I had done my whatever, how many stitches I had to do on that, I pulled out, going back to my mainly Mirabela, and I stitched on Fairy Moon. Unfortunately, this is an out of print chart. When I'm finished it, in God knows how many millions of years, I will do a giveaway unless something happens. So don't ask for it. It'll be just whenever. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Monaco from Chromatic Alchemy, and I don't know the colorway offhand. This is the before pick. And this is the after pick. And I just filled in more of the dress. It's even the right way. Don't laugh. And this is a two-toned fabric. If you happen to have Fairy Moon, don't make the mistake I did and not check your chart. She's needed on a fat half. Okay, then I got pulled out Autumn Queen. And this was for Magical Stitches, as well as wanting to do the mainly Mirabela. So there it is. Unfortunately, this is an out of print chart. I have seen these around on the mirror groups getting sold and eBay, and they haven't been too expensive yet. And this is stitched on before pick. And this is stitched on 32 count Belfast in Heroic by Picture This Plus. That's what it looks like all together. And I worked in here, I needed yellow. We were doing the Try Wizarding competition, and we had to pick we had to stitch for 200 stitches for all the different competitors. Like there was the different schools, yellow being one of them. I think yellow being Cedric. red being Harry, blue being one of the other ones, and brown being something else. So I did brown and yellow on this. So that was 400 stitches that I wasn't expecting to put on her. So it's always good. Then I pulled out, got it through, Mermaid of the Pearl. She was designated for, also for mainly Mirabela, but I needed to put some stitches in her for extra credit, May, June extra credit. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So this is my before pic. This is 32 count from Colour Cascades, Sweet Child of Mine, Monaco or even wave. And that's what I've done. I didn't have much of a start, so for some bizarre reason, this is called for 8 braid chronic. Yeah, that's interesting to work with. I don't mind chronic on a whole. Not a fan of the 8 chronic to try and do crosses with. Okay, and then it was Siren in the Shipwreck, and I managed to also do a year-long challenge with her. One of the year-long challenges of Magical Stitches is stitch on something to do with someone's mother had 7 husbands. Can't think of the name. So I said, she is like the mother that had 7 husbands because they lured sailors to their death. Like such and such mother did, I said, to have killed her husbands for their money. And this is my before pic. And this is on a studio fabric by Colour Cascades, which means it was studio dye, which means that it doesn't have a name or anything. She has studio sales, that's what I'm thinking of. And I won this. So there is no name, but it is 28 count. And look at my progress. I got so much done. She was such a joy to stitch. I got to stitch on chronic. No, take that back. Not chronic, on silks, 2 lots of silks. I just love it. It was so hard to put down. Another sip of coffee. Trying not to be gulpy or anything. Then it came to my other day that I had stitching with Terri Lee Crafts. And I don't have a picture of this, so I'll put in what it would look like and my before pic. It's a Joan Elliott. It's the Blue Christmas Angel or Fairy. And this is stitched on 32 count opal in 32 count Belfast opal. I don't know the name of the fabric, but it is from Mermaid's Tails and Angel Wings, or Angel Wings and Mermaid's Tail. And I got just some more of her dress done over here. Thank you, Terri, for asking me and joining your mania. Yeah, I had a really great time stitching on those two projects that we stitched on. And then we come to the 1st of June, and I had a new start with, well, it was potentially a new start with Vickie from Reading and Stitching, or Stitching and Reading. And she also is the headmistress of the Magical School of Stitches. And I had a flunk of a day. I didn't really want to stitch on anything. So I was going through my stuff and just seeing what I had, which also prompted the whole writing a list of anything that I needed fabric-wise. We're going to, side note, in the next 12 to 18 months, fully farm ourselves. So we'll not be working for someone. This is the plan. We'll be working for ourselves, which means the money situation, then instead of having a set amount coming in, farmers don't necessarily get paid weekly. The main income comes when they sell crop or sheep. So if you sell crop once a year and sheep once a year, that's your income. So while we have extra spare money, I am going to finish kitting up my kits, so that even though I have plenty already, not denying that, I can start whenever I want to, without having to think of the major stuff. I don't really count DMC as a major because I can just slowly pick that up as I need it. If you can hear that wind, I'm sorry. So I was doing that. I was on virtual stitches, which is also one of the reasons I don't actually have a lot of Flosstube, because I've been on virtual stitches a lot. And I was talking to Vickie, and she's like, let's go through your stuff. Let's see if we've got something that matches. And we ended up having quite a few charts that we actually both have. Not necessarily both of us have kitted up, but we both have. And the one that we both had and had all the stuff for was Circle of Friends by Mirabela. And I got this because these are my 3 girls. And Sophie has informed me that that's Sophie, that's Iona, and that's Michaela. I don't know whether they agree with her or not, but that's what she's told me. So I'm stitching this on 32 count linen called Playful Sprite that I got brought from Just Add Needles. And this is my start. I got the middle girl started, not done, and the start of the orange one. There is that. And I managed to fit this in for a year-long challenge as well, the year-long challenge in Magical Stitches on books, because there are 7 books in Harry Potter, and this is a title of a book as well. I've never read it, but it's a title. Loving the light. Randomly, that's basically what the fabric looks like. It's actually quite good. I've moved forward and I seem to be getting a light wave. Who knows? I noticed that last time I did it that it was better lighting, but I didn't think I would get as good lighting considering it's all cloudy and windy. Oh, last whip. That's not the last whip, that's the last 1st of January. The one that I'm working on right now and have worked on during Mirabela, mainly Mirabela, is Enchanted Mermaid. Sophie is itching for me to get this done, so I'm not going to get this done this year, but if I can get a good portion of the tail done, then next year I might be able to get it finished. If I did, I would have a Mirabela finished 3 years in a row, because I would have done the garden fairy for my mum last year, peridot fairy this year, and get this one done. And that's if I don't get autumn sky done. That's my goal. So I've my before pick. I'm not sure how much, because I'm actually stitching on this at the minute. This is on 32 count opal. I don't know. It's a color. It's a chromatic alchemy fabric, but this was a misdye. This was like a studio sales where it was misdyed. Sophie picked it out. It's not the fabric I would have picked out for it, but Sophie picked it out. So I did a whole heap of, she is one sparkly lady, like all this chronic in here. And see, like there's a gap of stitching. That's all beads. That's not missing thread, that's beads. Like there is so much sparkle on this lady. But I did concentrate on this clammy thingy. And now I'm working over towards her tail and down. She's out for Magical Stitches homework plus 24-hour stitching challenge in Jen Lee's group. And I've been doing some 30-minute stitching a day on a challenge in another group. I'm in all the groups. I kind of needed a distraction when it wasn't raining and it wasn't forecast to rain, and you sit there going around in your head about how it affects you and your business and your plans. We'll see. So I joined a lot of other groups and went, yeah, I'll do your challenges. Oh, and I'm semi-sewn stitches. I'm doing this in the semi-sewn stitches polka challenge. No, roulette. Sorry. And that's it. That was a lot of whips. One little piece of stash. When I was on Journey of a Stitcher, buying some charts for a friend, I saw this. And I just had to buy it. I don't have a problem with coffee. I have a problem without coffee. Love this. Cannot recommend, like Colour Cascades, Journey of a Stitcher, and even though I haven't brought from her, the one that Tash has started up, I've heard a lot of good reports. We're lucky that we're starting to get some really, really good shops. That's it. That's my haul. You will see more because, as I said, I've done a lay-by with colour cascades with fabric that I've worked out will go with which chart. And that's about it. Yeah, slowly just kitting up some stuff. And that's me done. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for the likes and comments. Thank you for listening, putting up with me, doing all the things. I hope you have a really good stitchy next 2 weeks, and we'll see you then. Bye.